Yo, what is up, Soldier Squad? I'm coming at you guys again with part 3 of Eminem's interview with Sway. I don't know how many more parts there are, but I was pretty excited at the end of part 2 because there's actually a part 3. So that was pretty cool. And now we're here. I'm a little bit late. I did go to work, so it's like, whoa, like I come back out of work and now there's another interview. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get this started, guys. If you guys don't know already, part 1 and part 2, my reactions, my commentary are up already, so go check those out if you haven't already done so. And I'm going to do the same thing I did for part 2. I'm going to pause whenever I have to say something, and this one's going to be different because for part 1 and part 2, we kind of knew what he was going to talk about, whereas this one, we got left in a cliffhanger where he said, oh, I was going to go too far on one of these songs, and Dre told me to stop. So I have no clue what he's going to talk about. So my commentary may be limited, but regardless, we're going to go at this one and, we're going to see what's up, man. So let's get it started.
Jessie Reyes is featured on this project. Young up-and-coming star. She's on 2 songs. How did you find Jessie Reyes?
Beautiful song, beautiful voice.
I was coming home. I got home one night from a video shoot, actually, and she was on TV. It was the Seth Meyers show, and she was doing that song Gatekeeper, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Because her voice to me was so crazy. So I rewound it,
And there it is.
Like, oh shit, I gotta check her out. So I went down the wormhole of looking up shit, and I was like, yo, I really want to fuck with this chick, because she, right now, my personal opinion, I think she's gonna really blow up. That's my personal opinion. I've seen people, very talented people, not do that, but I think that I would put my money on her that she will absolutely be huge. But I don't even know if necessarily in the pop world or anything like that. I don't feel like.
Yeah, I want to say, guys, I really don't know much about Jessie Reyes, and I didn't, go on YouTube and, Wikipedia, Google, whatever. I didn't go to all these news outlets to research her and look her up, but her voice did sound very familiar, and so when I remember what song I heard her in before, it must have been a very popular song. Sometimes what I do, I just play the top 50 songs on Spotify whenever I'm, busy editing or whatever, but yeah, I don't know much about her, so I'm probably not going to talk too much about her. I do know, though, that she does have a very, very beautiful voice, in my opinion. But yeah, that's as much as I know, man.
She does pop music. I feel like she comes from a real place, and she writes her own shit. First time I got in the studio with her, I played her a couple beats, and she just started writing to one right there. Laid a hook. Good Guy. I was like, oh shit.
So she wrote
She's
the hook.
quick. To Good Guy.
To Good Guy.
Yeah. The one she's singing at the end.
Yeah.
There's Nice Guy, Good Guy.
Good Guy.
And the reason that happened is because, oddly enough, she had already had a song called Nice Guy. She had that song, right? So I think that was the last day I was in LA. I came back home and wrote to that one. And then I was like, I want to write to the other one too, but they're both saying Nice Guy, Good Guy. And I was like, fuck it, I'll make it like it's kind of one song.
Dre's all over this project?
Dre's input.
This is the part where we were left at a cliffhanger last video, so this is what we're waiting for.
He's all over it, for sure. He felt like me and him had a couple discussions about the last album, and one of the things that he said to me was, he hit me up one day. He was like, "Yo, I don't like how motherfuckers are talking about your album." And he had heard Revival, right?
Yeah.
Him and Jimmy Iovine had sat in there and listened to most of the songs I had done at Rick Rubin's studio.
Yeah.
And based off that.
See, it's funny because a lot of people hate, and it's funny because a lot of people didn't like Marshall Mathers LP number 2. And people like Joe Budden and other people that reacted, to Joe Budden. They were saying, yeah, Joe Budden's right. Eminem has been shit for the past 10 years. I'm like, wait a minute. You're calling MMLP number 2 garbage? And I'm like, And it's funny because Rick Rubin was all over Revival as well, like he said, in his studio, and had his influence. But apparently, a lot of people don't like Rick Rubin's productions, and it's interesting because I mean, MMLP2 was definitely better than like what he had done. Like Recovery, I really liked personally, but MMLP2 was a good album, man. Like, to be honest, like. It in my opinion, it picked up right where part 1 left off. But, you know, I don't know, man. A lot of people didn't like Rick Rubin, and I personally don't. I'd rather Eminem keep rapping on Kamikaze type productions rather than go back to Rick. But, you know, it wasn't that bad, man. For people to trash MMLP number 2, like, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Reaction. I think Dre was a little confused too when that happened with Revival. Probably not more so than me, but we had a conversation earlier in the year, and I think I had only had one song by that time. This was like January.
Yeah.
I had the one song and was thinking about releasing it, and then wrote another song. When I got back to Detroit, recorded it. Like, okay, now I got 2 songs. I might as well do a fucking album. And that's kind of how that came about. But Dre also, there's a couple songs that he kind of deaded them just because he didn't have a good reaction to them, and he also felt like one of them was going a little far.
A song,
man.
What does that mean? Like, how far did it go?
It definitely went too far.
When you say go too far, I feel like Kamikaze was the place where if you were ever going to go
Far.
so-called too far, this is where it would be. You did the BET verse for the rap Cypher, and in it, you covered a lot of content that was relevant to the world we live in today that some folks want to sweep under the rug, and this is my own personal opinion. Conversations we have every day on Shade 45 on Sway in the Morning, we talk about, you know, the injustice, policies, prejudice. We talk about discrimination, all of these different things, whether or not we're in the middle of a race war that is trying to be perpetrated by people in power. Mm-hmm. Not a war in the sense where people are going to pick up guns and shoot at, well, maybe, shit.
Right.
But in terms of psychologically, the whole nine. So when you did that verse on the BET Cypher, what I thought why it was necessary, King Crooked had a song called I Can't Breathe, where he talks about, man, we can't just be the only ones saying this.
White rappers shouldn't stay quiet.
White rappers shouldn't stay quiet.
I can't tell you how hard that line hit me. It was
damn
to the point where
gave me the chills,
like,
bro.
This is how strong I feel about something. I gotta put it in the right words, you know.
Hey, I said it in my last video, man. King Crooked, man, he's been popping up now. He's been replying to a lot of Joe and Eminem, you know, beef. He's been replying lately, and man, King Crooked, man, mad respect to that guy, man. Every time I hear him talk, it's like he's very unbiased, man. He just, you know, he just speaks facts, man, and I really dig him. I really dig him, and I dig, you know, everybody that's, you know, unbiased. I try to be unbiased, but of course I'm a fan of Eminem, and you guys know that. I've told you guys, you know, throughout these past couple of videos. But you know, I try, guys. I really try. You know, I just try to listen and then just give my commentary. You know.
And I saw shit where it was like, oh, these are not new subjects. They're new to Eminem, and you know, that kind of shit.
How did you respond to that reaction? You got backlash for that. You know, especially when you.
I got backlash for the Trump cipher, and you know, it is what it is. At least when this shit is all said and done, maybe I can just be on the right side of history. But you got people dissecting the bars and going, oh, this shit is trash. It's not even that good, and like that's not what it's about.
It's a message, man.
You're missing the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to say this also to my fan base who might have voted for him. A lot of people in my fan base probably did. And at the time I did the Cypher,
me personally, guys, I will say, because I mean, I don't care. Like growing up, there was teachers that like, oh, like, you know, I'm not gonna say who I voted for, whatever. It's like, bro, like you know, I personally didn't vote for anybody. And I'm over 18 now, and I've been for like the past 18, 19, 21 for the past 5 years. So like, for me personally, I felt that I just didn't want to vote. I didn't feel like I felt. And I didn't want to vote independent either, because I knew that really those votes, come on, like, let's be honest, those votes didn't really matter, because, I mean, it was between Hillary and Trump. So I didn't want to vote independent. But we're not going to get too political. Just, I didn't vote for anybody. I didn't feel that either party persuaded me. And obviously I didn't want Trump to be a president. And, I mean, I didn't think that Hillary was a right candidate either. So I was just divided, man. I personally didn't vote. But I'll definitely be looking forward to voting in the next election. But that's it for the electoral part of this commentary.
I realized after it was all said and done that maybe I should have just attacked him.
When you said you drew the line in the sand, maybe you should have not done that. You should have reworded it and showed empathy to it.
Well, that's what I realized after I was done. That's kind of how I felt, because it's like, okay, this is backfiring on me, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck if that's what happened and hurt my sales. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I care about the message I'm trying to convey.
Why you felt the need to stand up, though? What was that for you as Marshall? What made you
decide? Because I was just watching it every single day. I watch a lot of news, right?
Yeah.
The thing that pissed me off the most, that really set me off when I started going crazy with the pen, because I'm like, the Kaepernick thing. And when that shit happened and how he kept changing the narrative and kept changing the narrative, you fucking, I don't want to get into this whole Trump thing anymore. But
well, you mentioned at the end of the ringer, Agent Orange sending a Secret Service to your house. Did the Secret Service really come to your house after that?
They came to my studio, yeah.
Okay.
And they asked, they were just basically asking me questions about my lyrics to see what the intent was behind them, and if I was making a actual threat or just expressing myself. So
that really happened. Wow, that's crazy. Damn. Right now, what we're seeing.
And actually, I did read about Secret Service. So this is not the first time. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time Eminem has been visited by the Secret Service. I think when he made that song, when he was standing up for the soldiers in Iraq against Bush, he also got visited by the Secret Service. I'm pretty sure I read this in recent like articles about Eminem. So I'm pretty sure this is not the first time that he's been visited.
Kaepernick was named the face of Nike's 30th anniversary of Just Do It. You saw that, right? And then you got a whole slew of people that are now burning Nike shoes and Nike
I saw that
products.
It's like, bro, like that infuriates me, because that makes me mad, because it's like there's people that don't have anything to wear, man. Like, people, like, really, are you gonna burn your shoes? Why not donate them? And I know that that's been in the news, like, hey, like, donate them. And yeah, like, that's obviously the way to go, man. Like, there's people that don't have, there's people that don't even have food, man, and people that don't have shoes. So that really bothers me, and personally.
Infuriating.
Yeah, what do you think?
Infuriating.
Yeah.
Like, really? Nike supports people who kneel for the anthem. At this fucking point, come on. Seriously? Seriously? You gotta be a fucking moron to think that that's just what it's about and it's that fucking cut and dry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a meaning behind this shit, and there's real pain behind this shit. And you're burning a fucking pair of shoes? When you go about your fucking day and you got your job and you're thinking about all this other shit, that's what really fucking bothers you? People ain't gonna stop watching football. They're just not.
Yeah.
Football, to me, is the best sport there is.
And I gotta disagree with you, Em. Baseball, bro.
What draws you to the game should not be, if that's how you feel about your country and you feel like you should stand for the anthem, stand for the anthem. That's fine. But you also need to realize that this is America, and people have died for these rights to be able to protest and to be able to take a knee. Stop making it fucking personal about yourself. You have nothing to do with this. I
gotta really quick commentate that I I find that most people that find Kaepernick kneeling down offensive are people that either went to war themselves or have relatives that went to war or that are in the military or military families. Those are the people that I see that get more upset about a protest that supposedly disrespects a country. And in my personal opinion, this is for you guys to know, I'm not going to say, oh, I blindly agree with Kaepernick, because I don't. But I won't say that I don't agree with him. Like, not blindly agree with him, but I there's some aspects of his protest that I agree. Like, for example, really quick, one of the things I don't agree with was the fact that he was wearing shoes depicting cops as pigs. But of course, that's the only thing that everybody mentions. It's like, oh yeah, sure, he's a hypocrite. That's the only thing ever. But no, like, at the end of the day, I really support what he was doing, because he was kneeling down, he was taking a knee to try to give, the win to, the black communities that need the help, that are suffering the injustices of police brutality and just racism in general, man. We still live, sadly, in a racist country, and that's why Trump is president. But like I said, it's just, I really felt that Kaepernick was making a difference by trying to help other people, persuade other people to hey, this is not right, we got to do something about it. And like I said, that's what I agree with. And of course, Kaepernick, he's not the best person out there to do it, but he used his platform and hey, you got people talking, man. So that's the good part. You get people talking for the right cause. There's obviously going to be hate, but you have to keep moving, because at the end of the day, if you want to make a difference in the world, you have to do something that gets people talking. So I really agree with Kaepernick on that one.
I agree. We got to get back to Tyler, the Creator, man. I'm a
damn. He's gonna
a
touch
big
on this
fan of
one.
Tyler, and I recently saw him perform. I know that Tyler was a big fan of yours growing up, right? And then I recall you even reading about you saying some good things about Our Future, how they're pushing boundaries years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And you said some great things about them as a talent, as pushing boundaries, as a group, Our Future as a whole.
Yeah.
What happened with you guys?
Yeah, no, I really did like them. I thought, like, I thought their movement was really cool too.
Did y'all make music?
We didn't make music, but I just felt like, okay, there's a mutual respect, and a lot of the shit that ended up happening after that, like the tweet he put out with talking about Shady 15 and why can't people that are close to him tell him that his shit sucks and it's trash, and like, okay, listen, man, you don't have to like it, and it could really suck, but being that somebody really was cool to you, you would expect some kind of reciprocation, and just don't go public with it and publicly express your opinion. And
see, at first, like, I was starting to get the vibe that Eminem was kind of like I feel that a lot of people that don't like Eminem were kind of like, oh yeah, he's just upset, he blah blah blah, he's just upset that nobody likes his shit or whatever, like, take the criticism, blah blah blah. No, see, that's what I thought that people probably, and that's what people probably think, but that's what I was starting to think. But what I'm seeing and what I've been seeing in these past interviews is not the fact that anyone is saying shit, because people have said so much shit about Eminem, but this time, people that were like close to Eminem, like people that, like he says, that respected him and he respected them, those people he helped, like Joe, those people were the ones just nagging and just hitting him hard, man, and going public with it, using their platform to spread the word of hate kind of thing, of trashing the album. So I'm starting to realize that Eminem's not hurt by just people or by the fans or whatever. He's hurt by the people that actually meant something to him, like people that are actually, that he helped, that he feels he helped, or that he respected. There was mutual respect. And then it's kind of like you're backstabbing the man. Like, And that's true, man. Like I would agree with that. I would understand that. That would hurt me as well. Like there's been friends that come and go, and the ones that hurt the most, that leave, are the ones that backstab you. And I understand that. You know, it sucks, man.
And how much my shit is trash. Okay, so I chalk it up to them being young and just kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I've been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was dick when I first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, man, you were.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it. I'm sorry if I ever was a dick to you, but I don't think I ever was. Was I?
Yeah, one time, man. But hey.
Oh yeah, that's true. We won't talk about that. Nah, man. So I liked him, and then Earl Sweatshirt gets in an interview after Tyler trashes me, and then Earl Sweatshirt, anybody who listens to Eminem's drinking too much Mountain Dew, and I'm just like, really? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were just on tour with us. We hung out. Like, we kicked
exactly.
it. Make
See,
jokes.
that's what I'm
like,
saying,
you know what I'm saying?
bro.
Like,
how you
so
gonna turn around?
the last straw, like, look, I know a lot of this shit. I could come across being very petty.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time, someone has their breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So when Tyler tweeted out the thing about Walk on Water, this fucking song is horrible, I was like, all right, I need to say something now, because this is fucking stupid, you know? But at the same time, I'm not gonna let everybody just keep fucking, I'm not gonna be America's punching bag.
In terms of Eminem's legacy, and I want to say this because I have to, and because I did it back then, in terms of Eminem's legacy, that song was not the best song. It wasn't. It wasn't the best song, but to his legacy. Now, apart as a separate album, you know, let's pretend that it wasn't made by Eminem. Let's pretend that it's just at face value. I personally liked the song. I liked the message. I personally liked the song. I liked the album. You know, if you take each individual song at face value, I fuck with the album. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is not old Eminem, blah blah blah, this shit and that." See, and then that's when the hate started, and then especially when Joe went at it, especially when all these other celebrities, you know, came at it. It's like, but yes, in terms of Eminem's legacy, the song was not good. I understand that, but you can't just, you know, judge an album based on a history, or you can't judge an album based on a track list, which is what a lot of people did. Like, I saw the track list, and yes, I remember, because I remember exactly where I was. I was in my car, I was driving, and I looked at, Eminem's going to release this, and I looked at the track list, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of features. And then I saw some, like, you know, I'm like, oh man, it's going to be poppy, this and that. But, you know, I didn't judge the album. I'm like, I'm ready, man, bring it. Let's see. I haven't heard you in a long time. You know, it's been 4 or 5 years. Let's hear it, man. And you know, I listened to the album. I listened to it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And I gotta say, it didn't stick to me as long as this one has. So yes, the album wasn't the best, but the album, you can't say the album didn't have a good message, or that it didn't have meaningful messages, or that it didn't have content. You can't come at me with a straight face and tell me that Eminem did not have content in this album, that he did not have rhymes, that he did not have double entendres, that he did not do his art in this album. I really want to believe that you cannot come at me with a straight face and tell me that he didn't have content. I want to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, because you can't tell me that. But as a whole, yes, the album wasn't the best, but the album was not bad. It was not a bad album.
Motherfuckers just want to think it's cool and safe to say whatever the fuck they want about me.
I think it shocks people, because for all your career, you was the I just don't give a fuck guy.
That can work both ways.
How so?
Because you don't give a fuck, you will fire back at somebody who says something about you. I picked and chose that I wanted to say my piece with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those things were personal. But then there's a lot of things that aren't personal in Kamikaze. You know, it's just the game and competition. You know what I'm saying? And
Spirit of an MC.
spirit of an MC, yeah. But you know, with the Tyler the Creator thing, man, I realize now, and I realized when I said it, but I wasn't like in the mind frame of, I was angry when I said the shit about Tyler. The fact of like, every time I saw this kid, like, always so cool to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved his energy.
That's what
like,
hurts, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was a funny dude. Like he's super charismatic and shit. But I'm sitting back like, man, at what point do I have to say something just to defend myself? And I think that the word that I called him on the album was, on that song, was one of the things where I felt like this might be too far. Because in my
the homophobic
in my
slur.
quest, in my quest to hurt him,
You're gonna hurt everybody else, you know.
that
Apparently,
I was hurting a lot of other people by saying it. And at the time, I was so mad, it was just whatever. But in the midst of everything else that was going on this album and the things that it took to pull this album together and all that kind of shit, it was one of the things that I kept going back to, going, I don't feel right with this. Before the album came out, I had the conversation with Paul and we spun the word back. But now I realize people can hear what I'm saying anyways.
In the case of this, man, I feel like just, man.
before he says anything, I don't want to get too into this. I personally got upset. I was angry. I was mad at just the reaction that people had. First of all, a lot of people were saying, yes, he called him this and that, whatever. And, you know, that goes on to, you know, the fact that, like, you know, he may be or may not be gay, whatever. But then like, if you actually read the lyrics, like, Eminem is not calling him the homophobic slur. Like, he's not calling him directly. He was referencing, hey, I know why you called yourself that. But a lot of people just obviously, so many people get easily offended. So many people easily offended. We live in an era where if we live in an era, and I've said this like for the past 2 weeks, we live in an era where if you want people to like you, you either have to like be funny or honestly just disrespect them. Like, seriously, like, because and do it comedically, because otherwise if you try to just express your opinions, oh, you're gonna get hated on. No, apparently now I have to express my opinion and say fuck you, or now I have to express my opinion and be funny, like ha ha ha, make you laugh, whatever. It's like we live in a world where, like, man, like, really, like, you're gonna get offended over that, like, you know. But it, you know, and I personally, you know, I you know, a lot of people are gonna say, you know, you can't empathize, and I mean, and I'm not gonna say, oh, I have gay friends, because no, it's the same. It's the same as saying, oh, I'm not racist because I have black friends, and that argument to me is bullshit. So that's why I'm not even gonna say that I'm not, you know, that I have gay friends. But it's like, you know, just read context, man. It's really like, it's all about context. Like, I personally don't say the N-word to my friends or to my even to my white friends, even to my Mexican friends. Like, I'm Mexican, so like I personally don't say the N-word out of respect, just because I don't feel that it is my word to say. So out of respect, I don't say it. I don't say the homophobic slur anymore. I used to. I will say I used to in my younger days, you know, when I was going through high school, when I was going through when I was going through middle school. But, you know, I've learned that, yeah, like, it's become a hate word. But it's all about context. That's another thing. It's all about context. Like, a lot of people hate on anyone just for saying the N-word. Like, oh, you know, he said the N-word. Wow. But it's like, listen to the context. Like, you know, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Just context is very, very important, people.
And I wish you and Tyler could sit down and hash that one out now that you fired your shot back and he said what he said, because I think that's a special young man, and he could probably use your mentorship, and you could probably feed off of what he has to offer as well. I could tell it's different from Joe or some of the other names.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's not as personal. It's one of them things like, all right, dude, you you deserve a tap now because I think you thought it was cool to just, because you slid with the other things, and I didn't say shit, because like I said, I was chalking it up to them being young and just kids, man. I'm like, but at the same time, at what point do I just gotta keep taking this shit?
Oh shit, part 4.
People took that line and thought you were indirectly talking about Drake.
What I'm telling you with these lines is, I don't know what's real and what's not at this point. I'm telling you that if I ever need a ghostwriter, I need to just fucking put the mic down.
Yeah, boy. Woo! All right. That's content for next video, man. It's gonna be. Let's play this out, man. We gotta give credit to those people, man, for allowing me to, you know, post their stuff here, dude. That's something I didn't do in my last 2 videos. Let's do it, man. But all right, man. That's gonna be awesome content for next video, man. A lot of people were, and even Paul like tweeted out, "We're not dissing Drake, like chill out." And it's like, what is Eminem gonna say? Like, you know, it's like, obviously, like I know that when he says like that feature when I stole the show, I'm sorry if I took forever. That's definitely like not. I wouldn't even say a shot at Drake. I would say that it's definitely like he's speaking facts, because let's be honest, he stole the show. Like, I don't care who you are, everybody that rapped in that song could not keep up with Eminem. Yes, they had awesome rhymes, it was a great song, but they could not keep up with Eminem. And of course, nobody really can. Not a lot of people can. I mentioned in my last video, Reyes can, but other than that, like there's very few people that have. I will mention this. I'll mention more of this in next video when I do review it, commentate over it. But yeah, man, like it wasn't a shot at Drake. And then a lot of people saying like, oh, the line where he's like, oh, I get more views, blah blah blah. I honestly, that could have been both ways. Honestly, I don't think that he was aiming at Drake per se, because I mean, it's just, you know, it's the album, his name is Views. Like, he didn't say anything directly. Now, with the fact that he's talking about ghostwriters, that, you know, there's been a lot of like speculation and a lot of truth to the fact that Drake does use ghostwriters. So that was probably a direct shot, not at Drake per se, but probably a direct shot to like other rappers as well that do that in the game, which there's a lot of them. But I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see what Eminem says, and what, you know. I didn't know there was gonna be a part 4, so that's pretty exciting. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for me. This is actually a pretty long video. Like I said, I didn't expect the interview to be this long, 15 minutes. So first we were like at 11. Yesterday was 13. This one's 15. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna get longer. But yeah, and this video is gonna be longer as well, because I did have more commentary. I wanted to express myself with you guys. I wanted to know. I want you guys to know who I am. I want you guys to know my opinions, as well as, you know, commentary. You know, my opinion on the actual like interview. But yeah, man, I want you guys to get to know me. If you have any questions, man, my socials are always posted in the description. Part 1 and part 2 are going to be also in the description. If you guys haven't watched those, check those out. If you guys like these videos, man, subscribe, hit the like button. It helps me out. I usually do gaming videos, all about gaming. I might start streaming again on this platform. But for now, I really want to keep up with this Eminem beef. So I'm doing these videos. Now, if you guys want to see a reaction to the if you guys want to see a reaction to the video that was just released today, which is Lucky You with Joyner Lucas, let me know. I'll record it right now, and then I'll upload it if you guys want me to. So yeah, thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate you guys' love. I appreciate all the people watching, man. And I want you guys to be part of the Soldier Squad, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate y'all.